Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're checking a look at Starfield, running on 7900 XT with a 5900X CPU and 32 gigs of RAM. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, I've spent about 5.5 hours playing Starfield now. I've been able to run around, check some of the stuff out, check out some of the gameplay. Kind of get my feet wet, learn a little bit of the systems, have some fun with it. What we're looking at right now is 1440p resolution with everything maxed out. I'm pretty sure it's maxed out. I don't think I went in there and changed anything else. I turned off the the RSR or I turned off all the upscaling, all of that stuff. I mean, we are inside a building right now, and they do tend to run a little bit better than the open area out there. I know that when I get over to New Atlantis, I'm running about 60 frames with these same settings, just 60 and above at 1440p with just native resolution. So it is definitely a heavy game. There's some stuff in here that will, I've seen it. Well, on 4K, I'm running anywhere from about 45 frames all the way up to 100 frames. If I'm in my ship, I'm definitely running a lot higher when I'm out there, just flying around in space. Now, there's some things that I want to talk about. There's some things that I want to talk about this game. Combat to me in this game, it feels good, but it feels a little bit wonky and stuff. It sometimes it feels good and impactful. Sometimes it just feels like, wow, dude, I just shot that dude like 10 times and he just stood there and took every single one of them without even reacting whatsoever. And that's usually when you catch them off guard and stuff. It's kind of weird, can leave like a little bit of a jarring, effect or whatever. But for the most part, overall, like, I don't really necessarily have a problem with it whatsoever when it comes to that. But it does look jarring, and I can definitely see people crying about it and making fun of it, stuff like that. There's definitely going to be some meme moments in in Starfield, so that's cool. I mean, at least that'll be there's stuff to make content for. The one thing that I really want to talk about when it comes to the overall aesthetic and overall image quality when it comes to Starfield is HDR. What you're seeing right now is running in SDR, but the HDR in this game seems to be a little bit broken when you go across from Xbox to PC on the OLED versus the monitor. It just kind of has this washed out kind of look to it. Black levels seem a little bit off. I feel like a higher quality implementation of HDR, like Dolby Vision or something like that, could definitely flush out these visuals even more than they already are. Because when I'm looking at this game, when I'm running it at max settings and I'm running it on either the Xbox or the PC, the overall visual quality and textures and all of that stuff are very pleasing to the eye. I do really like the enhancements that have went into the creation engine to build this game. Overall, it looks great. But now we're gonna move over to another part that kind of had me a little bit off put. Like when you get to Atlantis, like the city part, everything like that looks absolutely pretty cool. But the vegetation on New Atlantis, and I went out and I've got an Xbox video that I'll be uploading here in a little while. I went out and I was looking around at like the vegetation and just the world, the overall world geometry, everything. I jumped off the ledge, went into the water, swam across the water, ran into some wildlife and stuff, and you'll see it all in the Xbox version. And I'm kind of talking about it as I'm making that. But the overall visual aesthetic of some of that, of the overall vegetation, just wasn't doing it for me on that planet. I just kind of feel like it looked a little bit like it looked super fake, and it kind of was pulling me out of the experience of exploring in that world. So I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of exploring there, but during the previews that they were showing for this game, they showed some really nice looking vegetated areas. So I'm really hoping that my that as I keep playing, I'll be able to get back to some of these places, and I'll be able to really look at those and see how that overall aesthetic looks. When it comes to like the Xbox versions, and even like my ROG Ally, it keeps shutting off on there, so I'm just kind of over trying to get like a benchmark for that. But my overall gameplay, or my overall playthrough, is going to be on the PC version. I do appreciate the higher frame rate, but the Xbox version actually feels pretty dang good, even on the OLED screen. I wasn't really having I wasn't having a problem with that. It felt good. It felt fluid. The motion felt great. The overall image quality looks incredible. So my favorite planets so far to explore have been like the ones without vegetation. They actually are the ones that look more realistic to me overall. I've only been to the one planet with vegetation, so I'm hoping to check out some more of those as I continue to play this game and be able to look at some of that stuff, in more detail. So my overall experience so far, 5 hours into this game, I am very happy with the overall quality, the overall, story arc, everything like that seems pretty cool. I'm having fun. I'm really liking some of the characters in this game so far. It definitely feels like a Bethesda game. There's no sugarcoating that. It definitely feels like a Fallout in space, kinda. But it's cool. That's something that, like, this is a game that people are gonna play for a long time. Like, people are gonna be playing this game for a long time. They're gonna be talking about this game for a long time. They're going to be modding this game for a long time. And that's good. I do believe that this game is going to have staying power like you've never seen before. You think like this is going to be like Skyrim quality, I believe, anyways. At least for people that really like that space aesthetic, and they like being in space and they like doing things. The overall character, one of the things that like really never sat well with me in Bethesda games was like the overall character and the movement and everything. But as you can see, this actually looks pretty freaking cool. Like, I'm really happy with the overall feel of the character. Now, you have 3 view settings. You'll have first person, like you can go into first person view. Then you'll have the close-up over-the-shoulder camera like we're using right now. And then you'll also have one that's kind of far out a little bit. So you just tap like the select button, and you can change from all 3 of those. I really like that. I really like having that much. I really like being able to pick the overall field of view that I like for that. As you can see, like when I'm in close quarters in here, like I really do kind of like the over the shoulder look. I just like it. It looks cool. You also have, first person view where that one looks pretty cool too. That one's not too bad, but I do definitely prefer the middle version, the one we're using right now, the up close over the shoulder camera. I think that looks the coolest. I like the balance of being able to see like the world environment, the overall quality of the visuals, as well as the quality of the character model. I do like that, and I do think that this is definitely a step up from anything I've ever played from. Check this bug out. Check this dude, man. Like I said, there's gonna be some memey moments in here. I actually thought that this was in the Xbox version, but nope. This is in this video, and that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna cut any of this stuff out, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things for anybody. I mean, I wouldn't do it for a PlayStation game. I'm not gonna do it for an Xbox game. So yeah, we're gonna look at the things as they pop up. There's no reason to hide anything. Like, it's a freaking video game, man. And these moments are those things that we can all look back on, make fun of them and have fun with them and make content and, like, just be like, oh yeah. And that helps developers, kind of see, like, hey man, maybe we should like fix this type stuff. But overall, man, like, this is a cool video game. I like the epicness of what Starfield has brought so far. I'm only 5 hours into this game, and I took off today. I've got four whole days to sit and enjoy Starfield, and that to me is fun. Now, I've heard a lot of people recommending that you should just go through the story. yeah, do that, whatever. Because I can definitely see how this game could, if you get out there and you start exploring, I could kind of see how you could get off pace and all of that stuff. And going through the story is going to help you build up, your knowledge of the game, how to do things. It's going to help you with all of that. But me personally, man, I am an explorer. That is what I am. I am an explorer. And after I left, after I was done, like recording all this footage, after I started just going out and doing my own thing on the next video that you're going to see with the Xbox Series X. I was just like, you know what, man, I want to go over here and explore this place. So we go over there, we find like a base there, and we're running around doing things, stuff like that. And I like that. I absolutely love that. I want to just explore as much of this game as I can. Will I ever beat the main campaign? I'm gonna try to get through that, but I'm more interested in like running around and exploring right now as well. That's pretty much what I want to do with this, is just explore and have fun, and I want to be able to come back and play this game, always. I want to be able to come back here and get in here and enjoy it and have fun with it, and that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. I will continue to like do some of the story stuff and do some exploring, do some of the story stuff, go and explore. That's kind of the way I want to do this. Or like if I'm on a story mission, then I'll stop and I'll explore like really, really good. I just wanted to get further into the story before I started, like really, venturing out and doing stuff, because you kind of got to learn some of the systems, stuff like that. And so far, like the story beats are pretty good. They're pretty cool. Like I had to dock with this like with this shipyard or whatever, and I had to go save this dude and get like an artifact piece and stuff like that. So the overall story, so far seems pretty cool. Like I kind of feel like we're leading up to something, like we're gonna find like some overarching like intelligence that's gonna be smarter than us, eventually in this game, and that's pretty cool. I like that. I like how that is. I like how that's designed. I like how there's something, like a narrative in the game to keep you kind of on track or whatever. Being able to enjoy this with context is probably the best part of Starfield, because it is essentially, kind of like No Man's Sky, but there's a story. There's like a story-driven part of this game that will keep you engaged, and like this right here looks so cool, like if you're out in space, but then you get like the washed out effect that just kind of makes you yearn for a little bit better overall like HDR implementation in this. And that's like one of the things that I really hope that Bethesda and Microsoft will come back and fix that and make that look a little bit better. Ship combat feels just as good as it would feel on pretty much any other, ship combat type game. I don't really have a problem with it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I feel like it's fine. Being able to get in here and, it took me a minute to figure out the fast travel. I spent like 30 minutes. Like, I'm not even joking. I spent like 30 minutes, when you leave that first planet and then you're trying to go to the next place. I spent like 30 minutes just flying straight across like I would in No Man's Sky. And it's massive. Like, you can do that if you want to. You can get out there and you can sit and fly from one place to another, or you can fast travel, which is pretty cool. I did like that. I was pretty happy about being able to do that, and being able to get out there and just have fun with that. So the overall, I think the overall mission thing that I was doing like right now, I like you go back to our solar system, like Neptune, Mars, all of that stuff, and then you like go through here and you like find this dude and find this artifact piece, which was pretty cool. I do like the overall structure of how the game is laid out, with some of this stuff. Like right now we're getting into some of the ship combat. I believe this is the dude's ship. You have to like take out like the engines or some. Yeah, it's more a ship. So you got to take out the engines or whatever, and then you can board a ship and save this dude or whatever. So the overall combat, the weighty feel of the combat like in space, kind of feels pretty cool. That to me, like, that doesn't bug me. It's not even that big of a deal. So I mean, normally I don't really care much for that type of stuff, but for this one right here, I feel like it works to the point where it's like, okay, we can do this, we can have some fun with this. It shouldn't be that big of a problem. But the overall visual quality, like when we're out in space and stuff, I do like that. I like the more realistic tone to what Starfield has over something like No Man's Sky. This definitely looks better, feels better. The planets that I've been to so far, I actually like them a lot better. But I am kind of partial to the non-vegetated ones, and I don't know, man. I'm really excited about Starfield. I am. I'm really happy with the overall way that this game turned out. 95% of it has been good so far. My main gripe is the HDR implementation. I was like, my gosh. Now you'll notice too, like when you're going in and out of like doors and stuff, there'll be like a small loading thing, or when you get on your jet and load. It's kind of, I mean, it's fast enough to where it's not really bugging me or like breaking the immersion or really taking me out of the game. That part's been pretty, like not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to think, like I do these impromptu, and I'm just trying to think of all the things, like in my head, like all the things that people would normally be crying about in a game like this. I'm not as upset about it. I mean, like, you have the HDR thing. When I was over exploring the Atlantis 2 or whatever it is, you know, that place, and I got to the end of the map border thing, and that kind of bugged me a little bit because I wanted to keep going. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that there was one thing that really I was really looking forward to, was just being able to land on a planet and go anywhere. There's no way for me to like say like that doesn't bug me, because it does. Like it really does bug me, but at the same time, it like I accept it. Whatever, it's something that I can accept and just get over, because it was one of those things that I really wanted to do. It was, and I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you that like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, because it does kind of matter to me. To be completely honest, it does kind of matter to me. I did want to fully explore the places that I landed on. I wanted to be able to do that and have some fun with that, and just be able to have a good time. I like to explore things. That's like one of my things with open world games. So yeah, that was kind of a major thing for me. Like I really wanted to be able to do that. So I'm hoping that like other biomes and other places on these planets will kind of fill in that gap for me a little bit, and kind of help with that. If there's really a lot of places for me to explore, then that shouldn't be too big of a problem. But the overall, I mean, like I said, I'm only 5 hours into this game. I've barely even scraped the surface of what's going on here, and what I can expect for the rest of the game. So as I continue to play, I'll continue to make content. I'll continue to do recordings. I'll continue to play around with settings. I'll be able to try to find, you know, the best thing for me. I'll tell you what, man, just playing on 4K and like turning off the frame rate counter still wasn't even a bad experience. The you know, FreeSync, you know, kicks in, and it's a smooth experience. Not getting, you know, like any screen tearing or any kind of thing like that. That was an artifact piece. So I mean, just going through and doing these missions and having fun, you know, seeing the frame rate, you know, be pretty dang stable. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this, with the overall performance of this game. I just am, you know. I mean, most of these new games are heavy. They're destroying these systems. I hear that Daniel Owens did a video on this game, and it's like not very nice to the 30 series cards. And good thing that AMD is going to be bringing out the FSR3 that will work on 30 series cards. Maybe you get some frame generation to well, I don't know. Frame generation's not even in this game yet, and you know, I think that this would be one of those games that would probably benefit from that. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. You know, I kind of was up pretty late playing this last night, at least, you know, like recording footage and stuff. I haven't even really been able to sit down and play today. So I've been trying to edit these videos and make these videos and do voiceover recordings for some of these videos that I'm putting out right now. Yeah, like the overall experience of Starfield is pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. I really didn't overhype myself for this, so I didn't really have any unrealistic expectations for Starfield. So the overall experience has been good. Like it's been exactly what I imagined it would be. Like it's been good. I've had fun with it. I'm not really too broken up or bent about any of the stuff. And I mean, like the things that are bugging me, like the HDR and the you know, like the boundaries on the world maps and stuff. Yeah, those things, you know, I mean, like, yeah, they do bug me, but they are things that I can kind of get over and I can kind of overlook, just because all the other stuff is pretty good. You see this as like New Atlantis. I mean, some parts in this city, like right here, walking up here, like this doesn't look super great, but at the same time, it doesn't look horrible. You can kind of tell that they've been working on this game through a lot. I mean, like in here looks absolutely incredible. This part of the game looks absolutely beautiful. I was like, wow, you know, like the wood textures, the ground textures, the overall metal, you know, the metallic surface textures, the like this looks so good at max settings. I mean, it even looks incredible on the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. I haven't recorded any of the Series S footage just yet, but I will try to get some of that out today as soon as possible. I just wanted to get the PC stuff kind of just out of the way so that I could really focus more on just playing the game, because yeah, I got 4 whole days and I want to be able to really enjoy this overall experience and have as much fun with it as I can before I got to go back to work or back to new games or something like that. I'm just glad. I'm just happy that I got 4 days to play this, and I'm super excited about it. Very, very fun. Very fun game. As you can see, like the character detail actually looks a lot better than what they were, you know, like in person. Like when you're seeing this on your screen, it absolutely looks incredible. Like the characters look great. It's not bad at all. They what's her name? Sarah looks great. I mean, in 4K 1440p, it doesn't really matter. She looks awesome. Oh yeah, this is the video where I meet the other dude too. You meet like this other dude, and then after we left this planet is when we just went. Was when I just started going off on my own and exploring stuff, making that Xbox video, having some fun with that, and you know, it's cool, man. I like this game. I don't have a big problem with it. I know that the little PlayStation fans are out there trying to be negative about it and all of that stuff, but I just don't see the problem with this game. I think it's great, man. I think it's absolutely exactly, you know, what I envisioned, all except for, you know, the world boundaries, man. That's the one thing that that's probably like literally the biggest thing that's kind of bugging me about it is the world boundaries. I wanted to just be able to keep going and going and going and go wherever I wanted to. That does kind of, you know, but everything else I can probably overlook that, but I am pretty disappointed about that. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I am pretty disappointed about that. So, all right, my friends, I will stop talking your head off. I'll let you go ahead and get back to doing whatever you're doing. I greatly appreciate you watching this video. I did start a second channel. There will be a link in the description on this video. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would stop by and subscribe to that channel. We'll be reviewing all kinds of different stuff. Me and Mrs. Frog will be reviewing all kinds of stuff. We just did the Nespresso machine, and that thing is absolutely incredible. So, alright my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.